First American Title. I'll be your speaker today. We're going to be speaking of a lot of good stuff. Are we good to go?
Go for it.
All right. Okay, so thanks for having me, number one. Number two, for those of you that don't know me, I'm going to give you a little bit of my history. So my name is George Mercado with First American Title. I've been with First American Title for about a month and a half. Prior to that, I was with another title company that goes by the name of Trinity Title. One of the reasons I enjoyed my move over to First American Title is because of the tools and resources that we offer. As you know, First American is a national company and we've got a lot of backing. So some of the tools that we offer I know aren't available by any of our competitors because I've basically researched. And so the first one that I'm going to talk about real quick is called Digital Docs. And it's kind of like our version of trying to go green friendly, which a lot of people, a lot of different title companies already have. What's different about this Digital Docs is that when you close with us, you let the closer know that you want to get your clients subscribed to the Digital Docs. So First American creates free cloud space for your clients and gets them enrolled in a email campaign. Basically, for the life of their email address, they will receive 6 emails per year with helpful stuff like income tax season time. They'll send them, hey, don't forget you can access your HUD statement on your Digital Docs. If it's winter time, they'll get something helpful, something useful that they're not going to necessarily want to be opting out of. It's not going to be, just basically spam. They'll find some value in it. And in those emails, it will have your name and information as well as the title company's information. So First American did a survey 5 years ago, and they asked the surveyors, who would reuse your realtor, and 90% of them said that they would. They surveyed those same agents 5 years later, and a little bit over half said we lost contact with our realtor. So, for one, have a follow-up system in your business. That's my advice for you there. So you're not one of those 50%. Two, that's a nice way to keep you in front of your clients, past clients. For the life of their email, they'll be getting an email periodic 6 times a year with helpful information. If they ever go in there and access something, survey, HUD, whatever it may be, it'll notify you that client XYZ went in and accessed something in their files. And then I think it's specific in what I'll even tell you. So you can maybe a reminder, say, hey, I'm just checking in on you, seeing how you're doing. So that's called Digital Docs. The other tool resource that we offer, we call FA Print. If any of you, so the Digital Docs, you can basically just ask the closer at times, just know that that's a service that we provide. FA Print basically is a print company that's part of First American Title, but it's set up to not necessarily be for profit. It's set up to obviously maintain itself as a business, but it's not designed for profit. So what that means to you is that it's going to be cost effective. So if you're doing farming, or if you plan on doing farming, whether it's just listed, just sold, or just randomly wanting to farm a neighborhood or a zip code, you want to take a look at this. In the month and a half I've been with First American, I've sat down and probably over a handful of people that have a strong marketing campaign that spend money on a regular basis to brand and to farm. The last agent has a database of 1,200. And every time he does a mail out through the service he's using, it runs him a little bit under $1,000. Our same amount of mail outs cost him for a similar card $580. So he really liked that. The fact that he's going to get the same quality of a product at half the price, he was all over it. Needless to say, he just loves it and is starting to use us a little bit more. So this one, I can invite you to. I don't want to invite you to it if you're not going to use it. If you think you're going to use it, just shoot me an email, call, or text me, and I'll set up the invite. Once you get in and put your username and password, then you can let me know, and I can give you a little walkthrough on it one-on-one. It's pretty simple. It's no different than putting a house in the MLS. You've got and I'm sure you've probably done flyers before on different websites type stuff. So as long as you got your pictures and you've got what you want to say, and you can get specific on it on what addresses you want to upload. So if you've already got an existing database, you can just upload that. If you want to farm a particular neighborhood or a particular zip code or whatever it may be, well, all we need to do is get that, and we could do that through Savenware MLS, or we could do it through My First Stand, which is the next tool that I'm gonna mention to you guys. So that's takes a little bit of time and investment, but as far as saving money, across the board, what I'm seeing is it's saving people about half of what they used to do. So FA Print, it's set up to help you guys get more listings, get more buyers, get more sellers, generate leads, so it can in turn get us more closings. We don't want to make money in the print company. We want to make money with you guys making more money. So FA Print, if you think you want it and you're going to want to sit down and use it, just give me a call, text, or email me, and I'll get you invited on it. Okay? Any questions so far? No? Okay. My First Am. The reason why, the main reason why I switched companies. This app is not only efficient, not only does it compile great information for your curiosity or for your business, it is fast. I can do a property profile on any property you either give me verbally or that I'm standing in front of in less than a minute. Okay? So when you guys are done reading that, let me know, because I want you to basically understand what it really does. It does so much. For example, you can open title on a property from this application. And this is on any smartphone, tablet, or PC. So if you've got a listing coming up and you think something's fishy, but you really know it's going to go on the market and you want to find out what's going on and get a head start on title, you can open title with us. Okay? What it does, and I didn't bring the actual property profile, but what it does is once you put in the property address, and so I said it's GPS driven, so you could just be standing in front of the property, which is pretty cool. It's going to pull up in a matter of a minute the property characteristics, the owners on file. It'll even have hyperlinks to the actual warranty deeds. So by the click of a finger or the mouse, it'll take you directly into the warranty deeds that are recorded at the courthouse. So you can see if the names are matching up to your people, or if there's just anything that you might want to know. So the documents that are recorded and the deeds, special or general or whatever they're at, you can access them with just clicking one more button. It'll give you the property history for the last 10 years. That's going to include any change of ownership or any refis. So if you're going into a property, maybe the seller's refinanced a year ago for more than what maybe the market's pulling, it's just useful information to know. It will also pull up the neighbors, and it can be anywhere from 4 to 12 pages of neighbors, which is cool. If you list a house, you might want to just, again, it's saving you time, which is saving you money, because time is the most valuable tool when you're in any kind of business. So maybe you want to just send out a few postcards to the immediate neighbors. Just list it if you have a friend, family, or neighbor, or anyone that's thinking about buying or selling or interested in this house, give me a call. So that's all there. You can print it and you can email it from wherever you need it.
On this program here, if you're farming to apartment complexes, how are they mailed out? I guess. Y'all mail them out? I just create the flyer and y'all mail them out?
Yeah, there's on that. There's two options. You can just create your card or flyer, and you can use it for your cousin's pizza party, skating rink. I mean, it can be for open realtor, open house. It can be for garage. I mean, whatever you want it to be. So you can create whatever you want. We're not going to govern. Oh, this isn't real estate related. We're not going to do it. So you can mail it. And just to give you an idea, this card of this size, two-sided, you put up the pictures and all. And so a card of this quality runs 51 cents. So if you're doing your math, 44 cents of that goes to the post office. So for 7 cents, basically. And so that's where I'm saying we're adding the value. I don't know how you would go into apartment complexes yet, because that's a totally different animal. As far as like if you wanted to farm an actual neighborhood, you can get real specific through My First Am on if you only want people that have been in there longer than, let's say, a year. probably don't wanna be spending the money on people that just moved into a house, because they're probably not gonna sell right away. So you can get real specifics on demographics, longer than a year, you know, certain price points. I only want to send the houses in this neighborhood that are from 200 below or 200 up or whatever it may be. It's super user friendly. And like with any marketing campaign, any mail out campaign, I think most of you, if you haven't been told already, it's a one-time mail out's not going to do you much reward. You're going to need to be sending it out a couple of times a year, or a couple, you know, I think, I don't know what the magic number is, but I would probably guess once every 3 months, probably, just because, you know, they're going to throw your card away for the most part, most of the time. But you're branding yourself, you're getting out there, and you never know what may come out of it. So, not sure on the apartments, I can look into that, but you can get real specific and just upload the mailing addresses, and it just kind of puts it all together. Once it goes to the print company, if something comes up shady where the picture's halfway off, or they notice that there's a number missing in the phone number where it's like supposed to be, you know, 7 digits or 10 and it's only 6 or whatever, they won't send it to production, and they'll call you up and they'll say, hey, Carolyn, I'm just curious, is this an error, or did you do this on purpose before we send it to print? So they're going to overlook at the product because they want to make sure that they're sending out a good product. The neat thing on the My First Name app, this is both the FA print is by invite only, and so is the My First Name. You have to, the FA print not as much, but on the My First Name you have to be a licensed realtor to actually go through the process to get onto it. So it's not an app that just anybody can use. It's really a great tool to have. I've been playing around with it just for fun, and you can even pull up commercial properties that probably may not go into your if you don't do a lot of commercial, but it's neat to just pull up different property profiles and have information on there that you could get on your own, but you're probably going to have to look in 3 different places to go pull up. You have to go to Bearcat to pull up the warranty deed, and you're going to have to go to, you know, so this is just basically, it takes several resources and just puts them together for you. There's another one that I didn't bring in. It's called Cost First, just because it's a calculator, estimated HUD buyer and seller's calculator, but it doesn't. I mean, there's so many of them out there. But the neat thing about the ones that we have is if you're doing a property profile and you want to go ahead and maybe do an estimated HUD sheet on it, if they're going to sell whatever your numbers are going to be, it will actually on your PC, not on your phones, but on your computer, whether it's laptop or PC or whatever. It will, both of the Cost First and the My First Name will unite. So as you're going through here, you can just click on Workup Estimated Sheet, and it'll actually take all the information from this property and already carry that into the estimated HUD. So you don't have to go in there and put the taxes and the address and everything. So it's just another quick thing. They combine together, and as you do the property profile, it'll automatically upload all your information from your estimated sheet. Any other questions?
Any opportunity for this to become available to Droid phones? I know it's only iPhones right now.
They're working on that. I don't know. For some reason, the question just came up, and I thought, check to see if you can. Have you checked it recently? Check to see, because this may be an old print. I think we might have added it on there. So I can't answer that yes or no, but I'm thinking give it a try because I think it's on there.
Okay.
If it isn't, I can guarantee you that they're working on it.
Because we have a pretty healthy mix of agents, about half and half. Half have an iPhone, half have a Droid. So.
No, and we've realized that, and so we don't want it to, we don't want to exclude or make anyone feel left out. But that's kind of, I would see if I'm curious to see if it's on there. So, Carolyn, which one do you think would possibly apply more into your business? Any of them?
Probably the farming, but I've already looked at the post office and I can avoid that for 7 cents.
You know what?
Avoid the 7 cents through the post if I just go directly to the post office.
On your flyers? They'll do the flyers for you?
No, well, I do my own. I'm doing the same thing as I'm doing here. So
Who said you buy the paper and the ink? That's the thing,
Okay, yeah, you're right.
so it's basically the paper, the print, the
Okay.
ink, and then the design, and there's all kinds of designs on there already. And so
Yeah.
that's, again, it's set up to where, Reaching Neighbors, one of my people that I met with was using Reaching Neighbors, and they could, for what they were spending on 100 through Reaching Neighbors, they could get 400 through us. Now, the reason being, I think with Reaching Neighbors, and I don't know, I could be incorrect, but you just tell them, I want this neighborhood, this is what I want, and then they do all the work, which would explain why it's that much more. But the other people that create their own flyers and their own design and what have you, then those are the ones that I'm seeing where I'm saving them a little bit
So
under.
you're doing all the printing and paperwork.
And the ink, that's the kicker.
It is.
Yeah.
I know.
And so
I
if
made
you
the
want, I'll
mistake of
invite you
buying
and
a
start
Kodak.
playing around with it. And if you and Molly think it has value, then you can let your agents know a little bit. I know this is a lot of information to take on at one time, but I'll send you the invite. Are you licensed?
My license is inactive.
It is or is it?
It's inactive.
But it's still,
It's still there, it's just inactive.
okay, I think you can get through. So that way you can kind of play around with it. And you can only do, I think, 50 a month. So
50 of the title
property
searches?
searches a month, which is quite a few. But I was gonna say, 'cause I mean, literally, I've got a few agents right now that they're like, man, I like it, I want it, but I'm a little busy right now to kind of sit down and learn it and start using it. And they'll just send me an email, say, hey, I got 123 Cherry Drive coming up for a listing. Can you email me over property profile? I mean, and literally, I did it on my phone just as fast as on the computer. And I mean, in a matter of a minute, I just got it pulled up, send it to them, and then they can print it or just keep it digitally or however they want. It's really kind of, it's a good snapshot for the history of you know, who's on the deed and what recordings they show as far as they refinanced or not. So. And then, lastly, tomorrow's Fiesta
Yes.
kickoff. I think it's actually, there's a kickoff
It's today.
today, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it's today.
These events start on the 11th, so we just have that. So, you guys should be here.
I'm
You
not
wanna
doing a
take
Fiesta
your
at
time,
all.
it's the Fiesta, right? So other than that, it's a lot of good stuff, and I just kind of tried to give you a snapshot on it. The other one that let me close with why I think this one's even not only useful and provides a good service as far as getting you prepared to know all the stuff you need to know. It also helps you look good, more prepared, because it looks like you did a lot of work and it took you a minute. You could have done it in your driveway in your car. But if you guys ever go after for sale by owners, what I thought is, because I used to be a realtor, and I tried calling a couple here and there, but you know what they say for sale by owner, they're either too demanding or they're overpriced or they're whatever. But what's neat about this one is that you could basically, if you're driving by for sale by owner, you know the address, because you can tell it to GPS where you are, just type in the address real quick, and I'm telling you, in less than a minute, you've got the report where you can email it, and then you could call that client and say, Mr. Jones. And say, like, how do they know my name? Well, it took you a minute to pull up the information. I see your house is about 1,800 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. Does that sound about right? Well, yeah, it is. Think about it. I mean, just the first page will tell you all that. Well, I might have a buyer for this house. I'm working with someone kind of in this area. Do you mind giving me the price on it? Of course, they'll give you the price, 150, whatever. Okay, great. Well, listen, I pulled up some information on the house. Do you mind can I get your email address and I'll just shoot it over to you real quick and you can look it over, and if you ever have any questions or need any help down the road, you can feel free to contact me. Chances are they're probably going to give you an email address. And you just zap in the email address. Of course, it'll have your information on it, because you'll have to type it in, put your name, whatever. Shoot them the email, go about your business, and chances are that they might call you back, or probably going to be a lot greater than the other realtor that says, hey, get tired and can't sell your house, I'll help you, I'm the best, I got great marketing, I'll do it for 2.5%, I'll make sure we got the right comps, whatever. Give it a try, what do you think? They're probably not going to like that. But the realtor that called said, I knew his name, knew how big the house was, asked, hey, what's the price? I might have a buyer, and said, let me just send you some, let me email you some information. that I found on your house real quick. I gotta go, you know, I gotta go to my next whatever. And I mean, that to me, if I'm a for sale by owner, I'd be like, hey, that's kind of really borderline a little freaky, really, if you think about it. Hey, Mr. Jones, is your bedroom, you're in a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, right? Might have a buyer. What's the price? Okay, let me email you some information I just found out. It might be useful for you. And if you need something down the road, you have my email address. I'd be happy to help you any way I can. So if I get out of title ever, that's what I'm going to target for sale by owners in that manner. I mean, there's no guarantee that it'll work. It's a really cool app. We spent tons of money on this thing. Luckily, being national and corporate, that we've got those resources. And that's where I feel the advantages over, I mean, the way I used to do you know, there's a wedding pool market to do a little quick property profile. You save more MLS if you go through a CRS system. It's a little bit more work. It's a lot of pages. You can't really email it and stuff. This is really, I highly recommend when you think you're ready to start using it or implementing it, whether it's this or the FA print, let me know. Because I don't really want to just send you the invite. For one, this one, you only get a 14-day sign-up period. If you don't sign up within 14 days, your invitation gets withdrawn or expires. Not withdrawn, expired. So we can always reset it down the road. It's just doesn't work. So when you're ready to say, you know what, I think I do want to take my business to another level. I do want to get more listings. Or I do want to grow somehow, whether it's print or this, just give me a call. My info's all on the bottom. And then we can do it one-on-one. The one-on-one is probably about 30 minutes per. Well, this one, the first thing is probably 20 to 30, but the FA print, depending if you just want to get familiarized with it or if you want to actually do the first card, if you just want to get familiarized, it's about a 30-minute appointment. If you want to put a card together, it's like an hour. And as you go, they become quicker and shorter because it saves all your signature page and your address. And so the first card or two, while you get familiarized, is going to take a little longer, but after that, it's pretty quick too. And it saves your labels. Let's say you're doing apartments, you label. Let's say you're doing Lodgers Ranch or whatever. It'll save your different labels if you've got different things you're sending out. So once you get it going, I've seen some agents they sit down for like 6 minutes, put the new property info, the new pictures, and done. Turnaround time, it says 7 to 10 days. Whereas the agents are telling us they're seeing them hit the mailboxes at 4 to 5. So my first stand, FA print, digital docs, Fiesta,
Yes, it's
cost first, and we've
I
got
like this
and
one.
we got a few more things. But which one's your favorite?
I like cost first and I like the first one.
Yeah,
There's a
and the
lot you can
great
do
thing
with that.
about First In is that it will recognize cost first. So you got your address on if you just have you want to do an estimate, it automatically grabs the taxes and you just plug in commission, fees, percentage, and it's again they only work together like that when it's on a TPC. The phone support can't do that yet.
Right.
And then I was going to say something else on that. Yeah, so it's a lot of stuff, and we've actually got a few other tools, but the ones I find the most value in is the value is here. If you want to talk, bottom line dollar in your wallet, this is really a great money saver. I think the First In could really help you secure leads or gain business by just sending it out to potential, let's say if I met a friend or whoever's in your sphere of influence, I might sell my house or whatever. Hey, what's the address real quick? And in less than a minute, you can send it to them. I mean, you could do it during a 2-minute timeout of a Spurs game, email it to them, and they got your stuff there. And then so it's a great way. Plus, you show up prepared. And if there's something that you're not sure about or something you need to know, it's going to be on there. And that's about all I have. And of course, we've got good locations and great service, and I can probably match you up with a great, escrow team that's going to be there whenever you need them. But that's, service is that's expected, and we know that, and we know that earning your business and maintaining it's the only way we're going to be successful. But the tools and the resources that we have to help you grow. Because if you just sit down and think about it, at the end of the day, if you guys can get more business, the title company is going to afford it, get rewarded, and that's where the investment comes in. in all of these tools. What would be your favorite, or which one do you think you might, and I'm sorry, tell me your name again? Vanessa. Vanessa, which one do you think you would maybe use first, or which one is just flat out your favorite if you're not sure which one? Okay. If you want any of those, I highly encourage you to just shoot me an email, and you don't even have to thank me for your time. Say, hey, I want to see if you've gone smoking. Why don't you set me up on this? I want to check it out. Shoot me an email, get you set up, and then if you can't get set up on it on your own, you have to come back over here and sit down 20 minutes and get you going through it.
But you have to have a license for this one, right?
Yeah.
Like for both of them?
No. Cost first, you can download it right now and start using it. That's what I was going to say, and I got sidetracked. I don't recommend doing the estimated HUD sheets on for buyers. There's just too many variables. If the buyers want you to really get with your lender, whoever your lender is, and have them do it, because there's just so many variables. Interest rates, 30-year, 15, fixed, are they going to have to pay P&I, mortgage insurance, da-da-da-da-da. The listing ones you can get a little bit more dead on, but the buyers, I don't recommend going through really any calculator app that's out there. So buyers, I'd work with the lender and say, hey, we might contract on this house for 140. This is what we're at. This estimated. They'll usually work out for you right away. But for the listings, I'd use it all the time. And then my for sale pulls some comps, but you'd never want to go with comps other than what's on Sable or MLS. You guys know that. So even when you go through the property profile through CRS on Sable or MLS, I don't know if you guys can mess with that. Again, you don't want to use that CMA. There's no CMA other than going in there and pulling up the solds, looking at the time, and So, but it does give you some rough estimate comps. So if you're out there and you're getting ready to maybe take on a listing and the comps aren't showing, it's just a lot of information. You can start to see what you need to implement the most. So if you want to start your print, let me know. I'll help you out. I was going to say the post office is going to do it for.
Well, no, yeah, you're right. I didn't
Yeah,
think about
and
that.
the most expensive on there. I mean, the paper's not going to be expensive. It's
The
gonna be,
ink is.
it's going to be ink's going to eat you up.
I bought a Kodak printer and I forget it. And I'm supposed to get like 300 and some
Nah,
out of a cartridge, and
yeah.
I don't even think of it.
Yeah,
I don't use it that much, so I don't know if the ink is just drying up
Yeah.
or I'm not getting maybe. I
But-
gave up. I'm not buying anymore.
So do you like mainly to work with buyers or sellers? I mean, your answer
Buyers.
should be both. But what's your preference?
I'm marketing to the apartment complex, first time home buyers.
For buyers, okay. That's good.
So,
We
What
could
about
also
you, Vanessa?
market to rental homes for that.
Right now, I don't.
Okay.
I'm selling my house, but it's not.
She's brand new.
Who's going to close it for you?
I'm not sure.
So you had someone internally kind of recommend you to someone? Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's understandable. The main thing I can just tell you, and I'm sure it gets taught to you with Remax and everyone around here, is the best thing you can do is contact your sphere of influence. Every single one in your sphere of influence. There's a saying that applies to business that I've heard and that I've started to implement myself is if your business isn't where you want it to be, it's because you either don't know enough people or enough people don't know what you do. So you should find out where you think your niche is going to be, and the best advice I can give you is if you're not calling 10 people a day, and I'm not talking about friends or family, and this applies to everyone in this room, I think, whether you're trying to market more agents or trying to whatever, your minimum should be 10 calls a day. Get out of your comfort zone, find out a speech that you're going to have, make it short, sweet, ask them for their time real quick, whatever. You're going to get a lot of voicemails and what have you, but you should at least be trying to call 10 people a day. That's 50 calls a day. It's not hard to do. And I wish I would have brought it. Do you have cards yet? No? Okay. I'll send it to you. There is a cheat sheet on where you should be looking for business. Laundromat, car wash. I mean, just, you name it. It happened to me the other day. I was at a car show, and we were just shooting the crap. What were you gonna say?
No, that you
Yeah. And we were just shooting crap about cars and drinking a beer and this and that. And I said something, and then one of the guys was like, "Oh, you're in tires? Oh, I'm looking for someone to refi my." And then before you knew it, I gave him a recommendation to one of my lenders to refi the house. So always be talking what you do, even if you think they already know or assume. But 10 calls a day. I'll pass you the spreadsheet, the cheat sheet on where you should be looking for
Yeah, I
business.
would have copied that.
And it's like 40 different places. There's like 40 different spots where you should be thinking, but a few that just came to mind is restaurant, cleaners, you name it. So,
And if you're really smart, you can cross-promote those businesses by bragging about how wonderful they are, and then
Mhm.
send them that nationally syndicated article to the business owner, who will then be happy to send it out to those.
do you blog?
She does
I
not.
just.
She does. Good.
She does.
I just did
Yeah.
my first.
And I can't underemphasize, maybe not so much for title in that sense, but social media is really a good way to set yourself up for some potential future business. Because I mean, some people. My girlfriend got her license and she just started kind of doing some, literature. She's a teacher, but so she started just kind of getting it out there. You'd be surprised how many people be like, "Oh, she does. Oh yeah, what's your real estate, right, or whatever." So it works, and find something to write. You don't have to put everything you're doing, but just reminding people. There's a saying that every 4th or 5th post should be about what you do. The other three,
Who says that all the time?
the other 3 or 4 should be of who you are, because people work with people they like and people they trust. So every 3rd or 4th or 5th post should be like, "Oh my gosh, I just helped an excellent buyer, first time homeowner, whatever. It felt good," or "I just walked through a beautiful open house, can't wait to," whatever. And then the other 3 or 4 should be like, "I just sat in somebody else's freaking car,"
Right.
which is what I posted on the way over
Right.
here. And I already got like 10 people that just, "Ha ha ha, that's so funny shit." I'm like,
Mhm.
it was a little weird at first, but I'm glad I didn't start going through stuff. Because the curious part of me was like, "Hey, let's see what's in there." It's like, "What's this GPS doing here? This isn't my car." So yeah. So if you're not doing it, do it. For you and for all of you, but because if First American and being that I used to be a realtor, I know what you guys are going through or what you have. You gotta learn something every day. So get your team members around you. Get a good, strong title company you can rely on when you need something, a good lender, a good inspector, et cetera, et cetera. But for just getting your business going, and if you don't have a big marketing dollar up front, just do a small little area first. You don't want to have to spend $600 every time you do 12-line memos. And find something that works for you. If you don't have social media, get it into play. Do your LinkedIn. If you don't have a web page, whatever. If you do anything, do LinkedIn first, and then probably Facebook second, and you go to Instagram and whatever else. And work the Facebook level, because you'd be surprised. And add people, add friends, or add people you meet, and then call 10 random people a day. And you owe that to yourself and your family. Sit down, and what we do is we block the time. Mine is 9 to 10, or 2 to 3. Because if my schedule's, you gotta have, call it whatever you want, power hour, or lead generate, whatever. At least 1 hour where you just sit down and for the next hour, as uncomfortable as this may be, as much rejection I might get, I'm going to call at least 10 people. And put it on your calendar. 9 to 10, if your schedule, whatever, doesn't allow it, then you can fall on 2 to 3. Okay? So I appreciate your time. We want to help you guys in any way we can. So First American's got a lot of great tools and resources. They spend a lot of money to help you guys because they believe that if you guys don't have a business, we're not going to have a business. So we want to help you get the business. So look those tools over, those apps. So Cost First, you can get right away. It's probably my least favorite of all because most agents call their title company and say, "Work me up an estimated HUD sheet. This is what I want," and they get it done, and they usually get it back within an hour or 2. So, but the farming is there if you want to try to attract the business that way. And then my First Hand app is just flat out cool and informative. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Don't forget you're welcome, don't forget one of those mashed potatoes has the cashier, when she was putting it in the bag, accidentally stuck it into the bag holder. I don't know, I said, just put a sticker on it, we'll be good. They're gonna eat it. If they don't eat it, someone else is gonna eat it.
Yeah,
Your realtors are eating food.
yeah, exactly. Y'all are hungry.
Yeah.
Alright, so for sure, I already encourage you girls to email me, call or text me.
Are you gonna send it?
And I'm gonna send her the areas where you please at least share it with them too, if not whoever else you want. And it's just some places you wouldn't think of, you should be asking for business, but you can, but you just don't. Because when you become a realtor, you gotta step out of what you used to be normal. I know in your case, you were admin stuff, and you did what before?
I like my new district.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So you gotta get out and get out of your comfort. If you remember anything about this meeting today, is get out of your comfort zone. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not gonna gain.
And a good conversation started, by the way, is if you put your